Hello, everybody. How are you all tonight? I hope you are doing fine. Because I am for the most part. Let me get this up. Go live. Open a new tab. We'll need to share this out in the normal places. Of course, Facebook being one of those. X as well, or Twitter, as some people like to call it, which is me. It's still Twitter. I'm all a Twitter. Arr. Grab the link and you put it forth. Videos going live. Arr. There we go. There's a live one. See what there. Okay, that's done. Shared out. We'll get in the on air just in case anybody wants to come on. Let's see, virtual record, virtual camera there. So we are doing, I'm not sure how to pronounce his name. Dodoria? Uh, Dudoria? Dudoria? Today for our animation, okay, that is there, good. Let's bring up so we can see thing. We need our photo reference. Well, maybe I shouldn't say photo, but picture reference. Okay, so up first, of course, we need to get thing. Oh, did I pick up the picture in here that of the guy? No. There is one of the pictures I am using. I don't know what I'm gonna do for. I think I know. I was thinking about this earlier, so let's. There we go. Oh. Have him look up. Up and away, they say. Okay, let's add a layer here. You know what? Let's actually move this over just a touch. I think we're going to have to. Now, this is definitely a little different. Let's go up to 18. There we go. There we go. That's... Okay, so I think we're gonna make this one a little wider. Not usually what we need to do for our canvas size. Usually we need to make it a little taller. Well, sometimes we need to do both, actually, but... Okay, so with that... We want the looking a little bit more up. So that eye needs to go there, and then this needs to go. And then we see, I guess those things there. Chubby cheeks out here, out here. I was thinking of a screaming thing, but with that face, this is looking more like glorious victory. Okay, so take that. We'll put this one down. There we go. Okay, so we're gonna start to... We don't get the form quite right, but we're gonna get costume on, I think, here.
Hey, Rick.
Hey, Metal. It startled me there a little.
Yeah. You drawing Dodoria from Dragon Ball?
Yeah.
Dude's a prick. Glad he died.
Okay.
You probably have absolutely nothing about this character.
That would be 100%, 1000% correct.
Oh, yes.
Actually,
he was a member of
I know
Frieza's forces.
I know one thing about him. He's from Dragon Ball.
No. Yeah, he appears in the Namek saga, which is like in the later half of Dragon Ball, once like the show renamed itself Dragon Ball Z, right?
Oh, okay.
And um, he was, I guess, technically one of Frieza's higher men. You know, like he's up in the ladder, but you pretty much were up in the ladder based on how strong you were. And he used to bully Vegeta back when he was like a kid. And so when
Hmm.
Vegeta came back and realized that, oh, you could get stronger if you train and stuff, which apparently none of them realized that you could get stronger if you trained until they hit Earth. That's like an Earth specialty or something. He killed Dodoria because the guy deserved it.
Okay.
Really, really, really satisfying death too.
I will take your word for it. I just figured I figured I was gonna go Dragon Ball tonight, and
Hmm.
I just looked up Dragon Ball characters, and I guess his size caught my fancy. I don't usually really do characters big like, well, I do of course Canadian Shield, which is he's
Yeah,
big,
yeah, but you
but
don't draw characters like the Blob or stuff like that.
yeah, I've got a couple characters like that in my universe. One's called the Bomb. He's a big guy like that. I'm not sure whether there's anyone else. But before I go on, I'm gonna show off one thing just more because you're here right now. You'll like this, I think.
Well, I.
Proof
Oh, hey,
cover.
it's the cover.
Yeah. Well, it's covered with everything inside.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
My proof copy that I ordered.
Well,
So
yeah, but I've seen everything that's inside, so.
yeah, well, just you know, a physical copy of, not that you haven't probably seen something, a physical copy of something that you've done, and
Oh yeah, I mean I've got plenty of them on my desk.
yeah, I just figured, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
it was neat. I got it in today. I ordered it last week. I think I finally
How's it
got.
look? Did they actually print to the edge?
Yeah. Well,
Oh, nice.
for a lot of them, there's a little bit of a white gap, but that's more due to my um, stupidity. I was actually having a problem with them for quite a while. Trying to get it.
Oh,
Yeah,
I know.
I thought it had to be in this. Thing with margins, and there was this white stuff on top and all that I didn't even notice.
Yeah.
The images, and was in a chat thing today with them, and I finally realized, oh, they're saying about this white. Like I'm thinking they mean the white from the sides here, my gutter stuff, to make it look a little nicer, instead of just
Hmm.
white. No, they mean something else entirely. They meant this white stuff, and I'm shrinking and shrinking and shrinking my image
Hmm.
into getting into this thing, and it's like once it, like every page is in that dotted border that they have, and it's like,
Hmm.
oh, that's not good enough. What is wrong here? You're like
Yeah.
this stupid
I know, man.
AI.
I have like 6 different formatted PDFs of the
Hi,
Cult of Raven coloring book. Hey, Fizz.
Chris Silver.
Hey,
I reckon that when you're drawing a Dragon Ball Z character who I did not even remember the name of, or even I don't think I even knew the name of it in the first place. 'Cause no one cares about these characters. Well,
Well, a
this
lot of people care about Dodoria. He was one of the most important fights in the Namek saga.
yeah
He was very
the
important for
Frieza,
Vegeta's character growth.
yeah, Frieza's minions. Wait, I forgot the names of most of Frieza's minions.
As of Zarbon, Zarbon was a pretty big one.
Yeah, like that. Except for the pretty boy turns into the ugly monster guy. I don't remember his name either. All I remember is Ginyu.
That was Zarbon.
Okay, yeah, but Zarbak. Yeah, all I remember is Ginyu. That's the only one.
You know, none of
I
the
don't
other
remember.
Ginyu Force. You don't like
And I don't even remember the names
Berta or
his
Jace.
Ginyu's minions either. I don't remember their names either. I just remember getting you himself, and I don't even remember the names of his minions.
Well, that probably just means you weren't really into it, so that's all right.
No, I wasn't. No, I was really into Dragon Ball Z when I was a little kid.
Well, maybe the thing is you fell out of it, right? I could definitely understand
Mm.
it being like years and forgetting about it. Most of the
Yeah,
people
it's been years.
who are really into Dragon Ball remember this stuff because we go back and like we revisit it,
Yeah. It's been years since I've seen Dragon Ball.
which is fair.
Just like it's been
Yeah.
years since I've seen Doctor Who. Well, it's like recently I decided to watch some of the Tenet stuff. I realized I saw all the David Tennant era stuff when I was a kid on Kid reruns. So, but I realized I realized that, like I said, they can see all of his
I mean, it
era,
would have,
and
when you were a kid, I think that would have been newer.
I saw all the way through up to Peter Capaldi. I stopped watching the episode after the episode before the episode before he regenerated. I stopped before then.
Mm.
I have no idea what Doctor Who is doing now. Apparently, he's a doctor's now, some gay black guy or something.
I don't know, Rick.
Yeah,
Have you ever watched a single episode or read a single chapter, which would be more important, of Dragon Ball?
Red, definitely not. I might have seen an episode. I wasn't into it, but
Like when it was on TV?
yeah, I think I'm pretty sure I had some friends that watched it or whatever, and I might have been around when it was being watched, but I didn't paying much attention.
Mm.
Yeah, I still never saw the
Probably.
Buu saga.
Oh, I love the Buu saga.
Saw up to like the Cell saga.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just gonna ask why. Any particular reason for that question, or
No, I was just wondering. Mostly because I could see you not getting very interested into it, being thrown into the middle of everything, right? Especially if Dragon Ball Z was kind of where a lot of people started in North America because that's what started airing on TV first. If you wanted to watch Dragon Ball before Dragon Ball Z, you would have had to have been collecting it on VHS. No place was like airing the first half of Dragon Ball until later, until Dragon Ball Z was already popular.
Mm.
But I think you would very much like Goku as a character, like a lot.
yeah,
And you'd probably have to have started when he was a kid to actually like him, though.
okay. I know this is gonna be a dangerous question, but how many episodes is it? How many seasons?
Oh, of all of Dragon Ball, I'll say before Super. It's a lot.
I know.
Oh, geez, I didn't figure that one
Yeah.
out.
Let's see. So the original.
Well, just say how many
part-
seasons. You don't have to say how many episodes or about
Well,
how many
I know
episodes.
it more in episode count. I'd have to actually go do a completely different search to find seasons. The original part was 153 episodes before it went on hiatus and came back as Dragon Ball Z. And Dragon Ball Z is 291 episodes.
So we're looking over 300
So
episodes.
that's 444.
Okay.
To get all of the story that is called Dragon Ball in the manga, it's 444 episodes. Now, there is a catch, though.
A lot of his padding.
Yeah, you could cut Dragon Ball Z down in half, almost. What was the count for Kai? You don't want to watch the original Z. You want to watch Dragon Ball Kai if you ever watch it, because it cuts out like all the filler and stuff. And Dragon Ball Kai episode count is. I'm trying to find the exact one. 167. Yeah, that basically cuts it in half. So together, that is 320. Just, 124 less episodes that you'd have to watch.
Okay. Well, maybe, just maybe, at some point.
I only think you need to
Ooh,
watch the original anyway. Like, I still like Dragon Ball Z, but the first half of Dragon Ball is just much better than the second half. The second half is where it just becomes
I've
like a
never
lot
seen
of
the original
fighting
Dragon
and
Ball.
stuff. Oh, the original
uh,
Dragon Ball is so good. That's where like all of the major character development happens. It's where all the comedy is. Uh, Heavily inspired by a mix of um, mostly like Bruce Lee movies early on, but then as it progresses, some of like Jackie Chan's Hong Kong flicks get in there too, and that influences a lot of the comedy of how it's written. Before some of the Jackie Chan comedy influence gets in there, most of the comedy is just similar to how he did Doctor Slump before that, but it's still really funny. Though as a comic guy, I would actually just suggest read it because A, you could read it way faster. Two, Toriyama does a lot of like visual panel gags in the early comic, including
yeah,
like physically breaking the border of the panels and stuff.
definitely sounds interesting. Oh,
Mm.
heck, I've got, what's the name of it? A few volumes of the My Hero Academia.
Yeah.
Like,
But I got, at some point, I gotta probably, I should probably read them.
because I got Dragon Ball around the time Super came to the West.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah. That's okay. Like Super, there's some decent stuff about it, but it is the first like actual continuation of Dragon Ball that had Toriyama's hand to it. But it is a separate series. It's not like how Dragon Ball Z is just a rename, like Naruto Shippuden is, when it's still covering
Mm.
Dragon Ball. Like Super actually is a second series that brings everybody back. It's like, eh. It also undoes like you never saw the Buu saga. You said Goku had some
Mm.
character development between like the end of the Cell Saga through the Buu saga, to where he's
Mm.
like no longer the naive boy he was at the start of the series.
Mm.
Um,
Mm.
and because it's that flanderization of a character becomes the way the fans perceive them.
Mm.
Goku kind of just regresses in Super. Like all of that development kind of just gets thrown away because all the fans think Goku's an idiot, so he has to stay an idiot. Even though Goku's not an idiot, he was just naive.
yeah, which is very different.
Oh yeah. I enjoyed Daima, which was the last animated project Toriyama got to work on in any capacity before passing away. Not the last project. Technically, there was a game that came out that he did a lot of work on.
Sandlands.
Well, no, even after that. There was a Dragon Ball Z game that had original stuff from him that was just still in production.
Mm.
Um, that would technically be the last project he got to work on. But as far as animated goes, Daima would have been the last one. Um, Also, I think both the Sandland animation and game were done before Daima's animation was done anyway. Um, but anyway, Daima takes place in between the end of Dragon Ball and the beginning of Super. And it's kind of like, it isn't
His own
Dragon
version
Ball
of GT.
GT, but yeah, it's kind of like if he had made GT, what he would have done.
Mm.
It was really fun. I love it. It's got a lot of the classic Dragon Ball humor in it, which is one reason why there's a lot of people who don't really like the Buu saga too much, and probably the same reason why I like it is he was trying to bring back, oh excuse me, the comedic aspect of Dragon Ball into the Buu saga, and I think Daima really hits the nail on the head when it comes to that stuff.
When did it originally? Well, I won't say originally. Come out in the States or Canada.
What when like Dragon Ball Z started airing on TV?
Yeah, whichever the first Dragon Ball is.
Because we got it pretty late. Maybe was it like '97? I think.
Yeah, my older brother is really, really into Dragon Ball Z. Well, was really like he was really, really, really into it. My older brothers.
Oh yeah, a lot of people. Anybody who was around at that time was pretty into it. I was close.
Mm.
'96 is when it first aired on TV here, and it started with Dragon Ball Z. So you were thrown into the middle of the story,
Okay.
and that was by the Ocean dub originally. So that was dubbed by people up in your neck of the woods in Toronto.
Yeah. So 97, well 96, well depending on when in 96, probably the September would have
Yeah, yeah.
been
Maybe even
23.
more so. '98 is when it moved over to Toonami on Cartoon Network. So
Yeah. So, well, at least I was at least 23. And now, of course, I've never really stopped watching cartoons, but of course,
yeah, yeah.
DC and Marvel got more of my attention,
Obviously.
you know. So, I'm not even sure whether
Oh, dude,
around
I
that
was like 7. I was the perfect age when it aired on Toonami. I was like, yeah, let's go.
yeah. So that might be why I didn't really get into it. I was still playing video games and all that. Well, you know me, well, almost know
Yeah.
me. It's not something that I've ever stopped doing, watching cartoons, playing video games. I don't care. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But I'm not sure. But I'm not sure if you're aware. But the first superhero character I thought of, Doomfist. The what formed the bones of that character? Three very different things. And that is Doctor Who, Phineas and Ferb, and Spawn.
Do you know why people don't care, Fizz? It's because you bring it up as like a non sequitur, disrupting a conversation whenever you do bring it up. Like a conversation going on, nothing sets it up. You don't even properly set it up. You just kind of like interrupt the conversation. And it's not that people can't care or won't care inherently, but often when you interrupt a conversation that way, almost out of spite, people just don't want to care.
Okay.
Now, if you want to talk about it, we can. I'm just letting you know
Mm.
for the future situation why people might act so viscerally towards it.
But like Dragon Ball, I hadn't cared. I think I stopped caring about Dragon Ball a long time ago. It's kind of came apathetic towards it, like
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. Wait, you don't want to know something?
because
Fitzjoseph? I don't care about Dragon Ball at all.
Yeah, he's
But
never engaged with it.
but the reason why is because when we get to like him fighting gods and stuff and fighting God how what are we supposed to do now? Like he fought. Where has he not fought now? Like he fought this Beerus, this literal Egyptian ex god, looks like Anubis. I'm
yeah,
like,
well,
looks
then
like
just
Set, I believe.
just
I'm
like
like,
Superman, they
I'm like,
keep finding something for him to do and fight and all that, and
Yeah, yeah.
it may
mm,
not be entertaining to you, and that's fine.
mm,
I don't watch it, so it's probably
I-
it's Metal says it might be entertaining to me, and
mm,
I think you'd like
mm,
the beginning parts. I think you'd probably lose interest, probably around DBZ, maybe. I don't know. It depends. If you like
mm,
Superman comics, there's some like crossover with some of the more cosmic fights and stuff, and they're just more heavily on the battle itself than anything. But it, I think that might be the part where you'd lose
yeah,
interest in it.
yeah. But of course, my point in that is, like, the fact that he's lost interest or whatever. Heck, I don't
mm,
have any real interest. Although Metal says, hey, I might like it. No offense to Metal, and I know you know wouldn't take of it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I'm still not all that interested. In some way, I am, but I'm not. It's
I was just mostly talking about it because of the character you're drawing.
yeah,
Trying to
Exactly.
yeah,
keep on topic for the stream.
yeah. But no,
I think Pastor Warburton said in one of his videos talking about when Dragon Ball Z came up. It's like what they're doing now. All I've seen is that he unlocks a new transformation and his hair gets even longer and he gets more veiny. Is he now a giant hairy vein now? Like I can't. Uh,
Though I mean, he almost
uh,
is one in Super Saiyan 4, but that's just because they give him more of the ape features back, so he's got hair all
uh,
over his body. Yeah. What were you trying to say, Rick?
uh, yeah. Heck, most of the manga that I draw, I'm not into, and I don't really know anybody that. Well, I know you guys are into manga or anime.
Well, I am at least.
I
uh,
just
uh,
I do it hopefully to bring people in. You know, although nobody's in the chat, but you know,
Yeah, I just try to
uh,
keep a habit of, especially since I happen to know
yeah,
quite a bit of manga, of just talking about whatever character or series you happen to be
uh,
drawing on the Monday.
yeah.
Yeah, I had got Rick to draw characters that or some series that you probably never watch. The like he got like Bondru from Made in Abyss. Like he's never going to watch this anyway. So uh,
You never know. Maybe someday, but you're like
uh,
most likely not. You know. Heck, I know what I was. I might have been around '98. I might have been rewatching Robotech with my buddy. My buddy was really into Robotech.
Yo, Robotech's great.
mm,
So, and in a lot of ways, I love that you do come on Metal with knowing a lot of the anime stuff. It helps, I think, improve the show because I don't know. I know very little to nothing about most of the anime
Yeah,
stuff
some
that
rando jumps in the chat and asks you about it, and you're like, I don't know.
yeah, yeah, like this character right here. I don't remember it. I don't what's his name again?
Dodoria. It's named after
The
the
Dodoria.
Dorian
Dodoria. Like I
fruit.
said,
That's also why
I
he kind of looks like a Dorian fruit.
I get it now because Akira Toriyama was always looking at refrigerators for inspiration for characters.
Or other things in his house, but yeah, they're pretty much named after anything that he could probably find in his house. And specifically, all of Frieza's soldiers of things you could find in the fridge are kind of like named after fruits, and all of the Saiyans are named
I'll
after
say is the name of
vegetables.
vegetables.
Yeah. Well, you know what? That also makes sense because the name of the guy, Frieza, Freezer.
Yep. Yep.
I know.
That was
He's
the
literally
entire thing.
a freezer species is all named after ice appliances.
Yeah, or similarly, like King Cold. And technically, Toriyama did design his non-canon brother Cooler, but that's something that only got brought to life in a spin-off movie that doesn't take place in the timeline. Dragon Ball's got a multiverse. Almost unintentionally at first. It became one intentionally later, but multiple timelines, eventually multiple universes, but then also multiple realities that contain those same timelines and universes because of the movies. And Toriyama's like, I like these. They don't fit in what I'm doing, but I like them, so they all exist.
Yeah.
Just
No,
in the
no.
wrong way.
I know. He eventually in Dragon Ball Super, there's this multiverse tournament where different characters traveling throughout the multiverse for a tournament arc.
Yeah. Their continuity or whatever has 12 worlds or 12 universes, and the main Dragon Ball takes place in Universe 7.
Okay.
But also, they all have, because they take place in the same continuity. So if there is a multiple timeline on Earth in Universe 7, that means all of them have those multiple timelines because they all share the same God. There are 4 discrete timelines in Dragon Ball because of the actions of Trunks time traveling with Cell and stuff from the future. and then later with Zamasu. But then also on top of that, there is a further multiverse of multiple realities that are slightly different continuities based on the movies and stuff that have been added in. That would all each contain the different timelines and universes that exist thereof.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not
And
finished.
even getting used to the Dragon Ball universe is crazy because the main, like, each universe is a macrocosm that exists of multiple universe-sized objects.
Let's see. Although I'm going to be going over it at least one more time. What do you think so far?
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
Yeah. I would probably definitely when you go back over it, I would
I know
take
the
in
one.
the curves on the hips and the crotch to be more interiorly curved. Because while he is built pretty big, he has more of a body of say like rounded muscle than of fat because he's supposed to be
More
a
like a sumo
vegetarian.
wrestler.
Yeah, but even less like fat than a sumo wrestler because he's supposed to basically be like a big durian fruit.
Yeah, there's my originals. So,
Yeah.
I didn't get them facing upwards, like the head facing upwards, like I want it.
I know Frieza's supposed to be based off a real estate agent, so he's basically intergalactic real estate agent.
Yes. And if you watch it in the Japanese, I do suggest people watch this stuff in the Japanese because the localization doesn't just change the words; it also changes like sort of the inflection of the characters, which change a lot about their personality. Frieza isn't just a real estate agent; he acts like a proper Japanese businessman, which is part of what makes him scary to people because this is a guy who everything he does, up until he finally loses his temper, which it does happen, and that takes quite a bit of pressing. But everything is almost strictly business to him. Like he has no feelings towards anything that happens at all, and he talks very politely to you, even when he's about to kill you. He has a very polite manner of speech because it's all just business. Killing you is his business.
I got a point on. I mean, I'm trying to Google this character, another character's name. Hold on.
So, I ended up typing up a script today into my thing that I probably it had to have been one of my first scripts I ever wrote. I think it was before I had any sort of continuity with my characters or even knew really what their powers were super because and it was with Ozona and Toxico was in it actually too.
Who you think is worse? Frieza or Drek from Ratchet and Clank? Sorry.
Um, you're gonna have to be more specific about like what do you mean by worse? Because if we're talking about impact on the universe, Frieza has definitely had much more negative impact on the universe. But fine tune the question.
In terms of cruelty.
Oh, probably Drex. Frieza really isn't that cruel if you break down his individual actions. Evil, awful. But also, like, he'd sooner just, instead of making people suffer, destroy a whole planet, you know?
Drek, because Drek and Frieza are basically the same concept. Well, they can realize that.
Yeah. They're very similar, but I would definitely say the latter is more cruel, like intentionally cruel.
Exactly.
Like, yeah, sure, like Frieza does do some cool things, or cruel things, and some cool things too. But it does some cruel things where, like, he'll like kill a child in front of like Namekians don't really have parents.
No, what they do, they
Really,
reproduce
sort of.
asexually. They reproduce
Yeah,
asexually.
yeah, but they also like they go into egg form and they don't really know their parents when they hatch or anything directly, right?
Exactly.
Because they're like slug people, but like in front of their tribe, right? Because all the tribe take care of the children kind of equally. Like he'll murder the children right in front of the older tribesmen, but that's like the cruelest type of thing. Like, he doesn't really make people suffer too much unless they cost him, and then it's on a personal level. Like he might remove your arm before he kills you, or like he might go limb by limb. But he's not.
Whereas,
More he's just trying to get his personal return out of it than personally
yeah,
making use of it.
I still haven't played any of the Ratchet and Clank games. I'm trying to probably never will because I don't have a PlayStation. But what does like compare that to Drek?
It's been a while since I've played them, but he was definitely the type of guy that if you were his enemy, he wanted to make you suffer. Right? Like he would intentionally plan for your suffering, which in my book just immediately makes somebody crueler.
And I'll be right back.
I think the cruelest thing. Okay, the cruelest thing about Frieza, and this was after he hit his breaking point of like, I am actually angry at you. Was if he left Namek because Goku and them kind of ticked him off so much, he was going to go to Earth and destroy like their planet and their families and stuff like that, which is pretty cruel. But that's not necessarily like standard behavior for him. Like he was specifically pissed at these people for getting in his way. Still crueler than most Dragon Ball villains, though. Most Dragon Ball villains aren't inherently cruel. But that's also not the point to Dragon Ball. Vegeta was definitely cruel when he first came up, though.
No, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. But even King Piccolo, right? He didn't want to destroy the Earth or anything. He wanted to rule it. He wanted everyone to be his slaves.
And Cell was just all ego.
Yeah.
He's
to
one-
the point that like he was even defying aspects of his programming, like the androids. He was basically made to kill Goku, but he's like, yeah, I mean, I will, but I want to have my fun with it, and honestly, whatever I want to do is more important than that anyway.
Then what we want to do is just prove himself the strongest being in the universe, and that's it. That was all.
That was the problem of putting the Saiyan DNA inside of him. Because Saiyans value like strength more than anything else. It's part of their pride, and it's like, yeah, I got to prove myself. I'm perfect. A perfect being can't lose a fight.
Which character was this?
So,
Okay.
It's-
Not that
yeah, Cell.
I asked that not even really knowing.
I think Cell, the first form Cell is actually the coolest design of the character. I don't think.
Yeah. I think Toriyama would agree with you. That's why he designed him that way.
But the editors told him to change it to make him look more human or something like.
It was mostly to fit the aesthetic taste of kids in Japan at that time.
Yeah, but like the first form Cell is almost perfect. I'm like, why would you change that?
Yeah, they just thought, which was part of the point, but they just thought it was a little too gross. And then unintentionally, because he was trying to say, make him cooler, right, less gross. The second stage, being halfway between the insect and like the human, it looks even grosser.
No, it looks sillier. When I first saw it, I thought it kind of looked like LeBron James, but with a bill or something. Bill instead of a mustache. It's kind of dumb.
Yeah. So was because that was also supposed to be the end of the series. Though there was like 2 or 3 parts where Tori was like, if we want to end the series, we can end it here. And one of those endings was originally where the show Dragon Ball ends, right? Like where Goku gets married and goes off to have a family. That was one of the potential endings. It's like, if we want to, we can just end it here. It's fine. Then it comes back with him as an adult and his kid and everything. Cell was another part where they could have ended it. Obviously, Goku died. It left open. It's like, well, if we wanted to do something with Gohan in the future, we could. You'd probably call it a different series or anything like that. But
Yeah, but yeah, even then, I don't think Gohan would work as a protagonist because he doesn't really want to fight. That's the thing. So you
I
have to
think
be a
it
totally
works
different
though.
story. So you have to be you have to restructure the story.
It's not that Gohan doesn't want to fight. He doesn't have that because of his human part. Doesn't have that Saiyan urge to fight, right? But he does want to protect people. That's why, like later, for his character arc, Toriyama repurposed him as the Great Saiyaman because that fits Gohan's personality more. So if we did ever get one, maybe he would have been the Great Saiyaman. Maybe he would have been something different because that idea hadn't come around yet. But we probably would have gotten something like the Adventures of the Great Saiyaman. Right, it would have been like a Superman-like story, but in the world of Dragon Ball. But yeah, that was a potential ending, and it would have been a good thematic ending because it's the return of, in my opinion, the best arc in all of Dragon Ball, and that's the Red Ribbon Army arc, where Goku is tired of dealing with these people and they're like a threat to everything, and he just does a raid on the Red Ribbon Army base. And the Android saga leading into the Cell saga is basically the
A sequel
culmination.
to that sequel to the Red Ribbon Army arc.
It's the revenge of it, where Dr. Gero had made these robots to take out this boy that he hates so much.
No, by the way, is Dr. Gero the lamest mad scientist ever around? I'm not sure.
No, I probably wouldn't say that.
But what is that? I mean, is that false? I mean,
yeah, I don't. Well, first off, I don't even think Dr. Gero is lame, so that's why I'm not.
No, but I still hadn't seen the original Dragon Ball, so I don't know if he was cooler in during when Goku was a kid.
I actually don't think, if I recall, you actually meet him when Goku was a kid. He's there technically. I'm trying to remember if he was, because he made the androids, right?
No, the androids definitely.
I don't think you actually physically see him until he comes back as like android.
As an android, as cyborg.
I'm trying to remember. Well, technically, yeah, cyborg, but
Android 21.
This one, no, is he 20? I think he was 20.
20. No, Android 20 was the fat one, I believe.
Okay,
19. That's 19.
He was 19. Yeah, it was 19 and 20. Where 21 comes later. That was a design Toriyama made, but then got used for Dragon Ball Fighters.
Oh, so
did not exist in the
series Android 20.
Fighters. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah, you don't physically see him till then. You just know of him, and Goku does fight some of his earlier androids as well. So that's a fun part of the Red Ribbon Army arc.
Okay, but he dies at the start of the Android saga because his androids turn on him. But I'm like,
yeah.
But I'm like, he's barely relevant to the story outside of creating the androids themselves.
Yeah. There is a confusion with the naming system because some of the things called androids are cyborgs. Though I believe he actually is an android. Like 19 and 20 are both androids because he's not physically in there. It's kind of like a copy of his brain.
Oh, yeah. It's like, okay.
The cyborgs are specifically 17 and 18 because they are still mostly have their human form.
I did. Okay.
And technically,
I knew that because Krillin got 18 pregnant, but
yeah. You could also argue that Cell is a cyborg. He's a weird thing. He's a biological.
No, he's a GMO. He's a bioweapon.
But his cells are machines, technically. So he's like in a very, very weird situation as to what.
Yeah, because I thought it was just a bioweapon like Resident Evil.
Yeah, his cells are biological machines, but they're functionally actually machines.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah, he's a very, very, very unique thing when you try to
Mm.
break him down. Like his cells, while they make a singular thing, functionally think on their own for some singular purpose. And as long as like a single cell of him remains, he can just kind of recreate his entire body.
Oh, okay. So it's more like a nanobot collection.
Sort of, but like a completely organic nanobot.
Okay.
It's a very, just very, very interesting creature at the end of the day.
Yeah, oh yeah, well yeah, like Cell's first is yeah, but Cell's first design actually made him stand out as like this unique monster. But the more he got, the less interesting he looked.
Yeah. Toriyama has a lot of creatures like that throughout his different series.
Mm. You don't see that too often in anime.
Yeah. But I think another reason why Cell was being pushed into a certain direction so much was because of the thing it brought up where this was a potential end for Dragon Ball. And this one was, at the time, the most believed end. They didn't think they were coming back for the Buu Saga.
Mm.
So it's like, well, this is the final villain. So we got to really go out with the final villain.
It's kind of but it's kind of dumb that you don't have Doctor Zero do much in the post was originally planned to be the final arc. It's like
Although I don't know really, I'd say not necessarily because some characters are just made to create other characters.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. Dr. Giro was supposed to have a bigger part, but it was actually a very similar situation to what happened with Imperfect to Perfect Cell. They thought Dr. Girone's design was a little too lame, him in Android 20. So that's where the
he could just
other
transfer his consciousness to another even stronger robots. Because he did that like Ultron.
Robots can
I know.
transform too. You know, like
Exactly, he
all
could
kinds
just
of things.
transform. I know.
But Tori was like, okay,
Could
I'm
just
just going to make another set of androids. Ones that are stronger, ones that are actually built to kill Goku.
Yeah, he could just replace parts of himself all over the course of the story. Like, what the hell?
No, it's just a very Toriyama thing to do. It's like, if you're not happy with it, I'm just going to replace them altogether.
Mm. Like you did that just road did not do much. It's kind of like one of the.
I mean, technically,
That's
it
why.
was just everything he did before that was behind the scenes.
Mm.
It was in preparation for the day. Because realistically, even with him being killed by his own creations, which is a very classic trope, and I can't really blame Toriyama for wanting to do that. It's fun to watch a creator get killed by his own creations. But everything that happens, even like Cell almost destroying the solar system, is still a product of Dr. Giro's work.
Mm.
Yeah, so if he didn't exist, all these other things wouldn't have happened. So you need him there just to create.
Uh, I want to know. Where did the concept of shadow come from? Cell, or Shadow the Hedgehog come from Cell, or because I know Sonic was very influenced by Dragon Ball a lot.
I would say the concept is kind of a mix between it. Like, I wouldn't say there's no Cell in it since he's a created organism to be like the perfect creation, like, the perfect being, or the ultimate being, as they use the word ultimate more there. But in a lot of ways too, he's more influenced by Vegeta.
Mm. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it'd be kind of like if Vegeta was made like Cell, I think would probably be a good way of breaking Shadow down.
Okay. Yeah, I know Sonic is very influenced by Dragon Ball. Like you have
Oh,
Super
they were
Sonic,
close
which is
friends. The original creator of Sonic and Toriyama. I can't remember the guy's
uh
name, but they eat lunch together
oh
and stuff sometimes.
so like because you had like now and that, but instead of Dragon Ball, you had the Chaos Emeralds that turned him super, then like Super Saiyan. You had like you got all this stuff. Like so much is just we
Yeah, and
recycle
sometimes
from
you don't
Dragon
know
Ball.
which direction the exchange went later on.
Mhm.
Um, both of them were constantly exchanging ideas with each other.
Yeah, I know.
But even there's several other things like Silver. It's just Trunks. Oh, that's just
I
switch
know
Trunks.
Silver's just strong.
Yeah.
I know, but no one likes Silver that much as Shadow, of course.
Oh yeah, I mean, he's got a pretty strong fan base. That's why they do try to keep bringing him back. But yeah, it's not Shadow size.
They should, yeah. Shadow guy's own game. Same with Knuckles.
Yeah, but we try not to remember Shadow the Hedgehog.
Yeah. It's the Shadow Hedgehog game. I heard that was not good. I didn't blame myself.
It wasn't
Yeah,
too
like
bad.
the
Hey,
you played it?
Outcast. Yeah.
Okay, I was gonna say because like the mechanics in Shadow the Hedgehog that were the same as Sonic Adventure 2 weren't bad, right? It's all the stuff they added to the game that didn't work as well, like riding the motorcycle or shooting the gun. But anytime he was
Wow,
just doing
wow.
like normal hedgehog stuff, that stuff functioned perfectly fine.
Also, why would Shadow need a motorcycle when he can teleport and run fast?
Because it's cool.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Like,
They look cool.
That's it. It's just a rule of cool.
it's like
Eh,
wow. How well did they handle the teleportation? I'm
and just because
In
you
Shadow the Hedgehog, they didn't.
no, they
just
didn't even they didn't even bother doing that. Like what's
and
the
just
point? What's the point?
and just because you can transport doesn't mean you have to. Like Superman, he can fly and be almost anywhere at super speeds, right? But unless he has
Yeah.
to, he doesn't. Unless there's an actual need for it, he'll walk or whatever.
I
He
know.
might not take a car, I'll admit that. But, depends on the personality of the character, too. And I'm not sure whether you heard, but Outcast is here.
I heard Shadow uses a gun, which I kind of see situationally that might be useful, but I'm not sure. Yeah, like depending on what he's going up against, but like I'm not sure that's useful in even all situations. But I heard that game was bad for reasons. But
What were you
I
trying to
don't,
tell
I don't.
Outcast, Rick?
Heard it? Oh, just saying
Is that what
Outcast
we?
is here
Yeah.
and saying hi. Says hi.
Oh, okay. Okay.
He hasn't said much more than that, so.
Yeah. There was also the big twist in Shadow the Hedgehog was a kind of an important part of the game
Mm.
that I think a lot of people, because they haven't played it and we do write the game kind of like away, don't even know the twist. And that's
Mm.
you find out more about how Shadow was created.
Mm.
And Gerald Robotnik used the DNA of an alien called Black Doom to make him. So
So what?
technically, an alien leader of like an alien group or whatever called Black Doom. So technically,
Oh, Black
Black
Doom.
Doom is Shadow's biological father.
Oh, oh, Black Doom. Okay, it's kind of the dumbest name ever.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
That,
this
that was
is
Well,
definitely
probably
like
not.
one of yeah.
Probably not the dumbest name ever, but certainly, yeah, not the most creative.
Black Doom. Like, it's
Now, is that a black version of Doctor Doom?
No.
no, it's also an alien.
I know. Well, I heard Metal say about the alien. I was just being a little facetious, joking around. Because,
Nah, man,
Yeah,
I'm
he's a
right now picturing Doctor
crazy
Doom wearing the gold
creature.
chain on. We'll be silly.
Okay, this is actually not looking
It'd be like
too.
MF Doom. That's what I'm thinking now.
I gotta get that.
Rick definitely will have no idea who MF Doom is, and it's
I know who he is. My brother used to,
I
used to
figured you
listen to
did when you laughed.
Yeah, he's passed away now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do not like this.
Hey, Rick, what do you got to do?
Oh, this arm, the other arm. I don't like it. It's really messed up. I think things are looking good here. I'm thinking of grabbing that. And transform, scale, bring it down a little bit. We widen it a little bit. Can we? Should have rotated it too.
So, yeah, I thought the character looked a lot better when he was a pile of ashes. Like, that's probably if like we were on if I was up here drawing with you, I'd be like, yeah, I'm drawing Dodoria, and I would just be drawing a pile of ashes.
Well, that wouldn't take long.
No, maybe I'll take the time. I'll actually render out the pile of ashes.
I forgot that Frieza mean that Vegeta fought at the start, who was a coward.
Oh yeah. He's like one of the only ones I always forget the name of. And
yeah, that's the only one I actually remember.
That's most forgettable one.
Yeah, that's he won only two I actually remember. Only two I actually remember. The dad and the pretty boy one named Zarbog. They're the only two I actually remember. Yeah, Zarbog. And only two I actually remember them. I like this guy. I don't remember this guy here.
Huh? Why do I find that funny? That Metal remembers all of them except for the one that Fitzjoseph remembers.
Yeah, because he had a move. Because he had a special move, where he just cowers in fear when pretends to freezes behind you, Vegeta. You know,
yeah.
that part that's the most memorable. That's what makes it memorable. But he just cowers in fear and pretends that freezes by standing right behind Vegeta. But that's not true. It all just so he can fire the ninja blast at him.
Yeah. It was because you're thinking like the blue dude with the yellow spots, right?
Exactly.
I always forget his name. There we go. Kui. Yeah. That's right, because it's such a short name. It's Kui. That's the first one that Vegeta kills is Kui. Yeah. I always forget Kui's name. It's such a forgettable name, though, right? Like even in English, it's 3 letters. In Japanese, it's 2, but I think it can be written by a single symbol. Though part of it is almost all of the like aliens are written in hiragana because all the names are supposed to be seen as foreign, which makes sense. Like, why would you not write even if the name was a Japanese name, why would you not write it in hiragana for an alien, since you're supposed to use that for like foreign words and stuff?
Although I still need to put the hands in. Reach on the hands when you think it looks better.
Oh yeah. Because your hands kind of just look like mittens with sausages coming out of them.
I forgot what's the name of the race that taught Goku teleportation.
Oh yeah. Instant transmission, which actually involved him having to eat some flesh to learn it. in a consensual way. Yeah, they only say it once in the entire series.
But I
I'm
still
gonna have
don't.
to look that up.
Yeah, but yeah, I still don't know why Goku didn't instantly teleport to Earth when he landed. So
Because Goku's still like basically an adult kid, and it's like, Earth's fine. Piccolo's there, Gohan's there. It's fine. I don't need to be there. I'll get there eventually.
After these messages, we'll be right back. No.
Yeah, Yardrat. It was Planet Yardrat, and the race were also the Yardrats.
your dress. I forget. I heard
Or
they showed up
sometimes in
a couple.
English they call them the Yardrashians, like Martians.
Yeah, because I heard some there are some Yard Rat characters in the expanded material, or at least in games and
Oh
stuff.
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know.
Like there was a Dragon Ball Online at one point. I think some Yardrats showed up in that. I
and
don't remember them being in Xenoverse 1 or 2, but I wouldn't be surprised if like maybe in one of the DLCs.
and hello, Luke. How are you?
Cool hand Luke.
Yes, that's I believe that's my in real life friend acquaintance Luke.
It's a pretty good movie.
I mean, yeah, but like everyone know, yeah. It's weird finding a person who doesn't know Dragon Ball Z like Rick here, because like everyone knows Dragon Ball Z. Like,
Oh yeah, it's the most popular.
Cause I mean, even if they referencing High School DxD, which a show I found painful.
They
Yeah,
referenced Dragon Ball Z and the Amazing World of Gumball.
I know that.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well, that
I know
like
that.
it's everywhere.
yeah. Well,
I know.
it's for me. Obviously, it's because I was like 23, 26 when it was here.
Oh yeah, I know plenty of
Eh,
people Rick's age that they know it exists, but they couldn't tell you the first thing about it.
yeah. I probably know. I might know a little bit more. I know this. I know about the Saiyan stuff from it and all that, and that's due to being online. I've watched. What's the various versus fights, especially the one Goku versus Superman. So
Yeah, yeah. Which they consistently get the right answer, but for the wrong reasons because their information on both of them suck.
Mm. Uh, but
Hey, Chris is here.
like, but like it's
ah,
like Dragon Ball Z is referenced on Fairly Odd Parents. They had a whole segment of episode homaging the Dragon Ball. Then that channel chases
Yeah, yeah, the
special.
TV movie.
uh, Luke says, "Good, and how are you?" I'm not doing too bad. Chris says, "Who is this?" I'll let Metal say the name because I'll ruin it.
This is Dodoria of the Frieza forces from Dragon Ball. Specifically, if you watched it in animated form, Dragon Ball Z.
Okay, and Luke says, "Acquaintance." Laugh out loud. I only say that because we don't get together and talk or whatever a lot. Yes, sometimes I'm not sure what to give. Some people the titles, especially when they seem in between. Acquaintance,
Oh yeah,
friend.
I don't like to presume my relationship with anybody.
Yeah, but who
You
who
know.
suggested Rick draw this?
Oh, Rick did. He was just like needed to draw a Dragon Ball character, and he just picked one whose design stood out to him because he
Yeah,
doesn't. You
Okay.
were saying you don't usually draw characters with like this body type.
yeah. Like I knew it was Manga Monday, and like about 2 hours ago, maybe two and a half, something like that. I'm like, okay, let's look up manga characters, and then I was going by Goku, not Groku, Goku, to see And I saw that, and it's like, yeah, I should draw something Dragon Ball. And I didn't want to draw Goku because I've drawn him before a couple times. I've drawn Kid Goku, and I've drawn Goku, and I've drawn a couple others, I think. So I just looked up Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball characters, and I started looking through, and I like this guy's look. You know, thought let's challenge myself to a little bit bigger body type than I'm used to. You know.
Yeah. I think that was actually the coolest part of, say, like the Namek saga, is since you were dealing with aliens, almost every single one of Frieza's men look like a completely different type of alien from each other.
Mhm.
Because they've been picked up, just strong people that he's like hired. Maybe he killed their planets or took them over. He doesn't usually always destroy planets. A lot of time he's just getting real estate. But he's just like, you're strong, you work for me now, or you're dead. Your option. So you just have like a big mix of a bunch of different things.
Mm. Like I remember I wanted to run a I remember I wanted to run a D&D campaign with a villain who's kind of like that, but the villain is like build his own mini Las Vegas in the pocket dimension, like built his own Las Vegas in the pocket dimension or something. I never got to run that. I never got to run D&D, so there's so many ideas that's on the table.
Well, you can still do it at some point. That's a great thing.
Yeah. Mm.
Luke says, so Doris, and then he says, Doria, however you pronounce it.
Dodoria.
Dodoria.
Yeah, Dodoria.
Dodoria. Dodoria. Okay, so and I think it's the way I'm trying to do the hands. I'm trying to do it like this. So I think it's throwing me off, but I don't really want to do it like that.
Yeah, you kind of you need to like draw the palm first when you were doing your underline, right? Like you have to draw the actual shape of the palm before you start attaching fingers to it. Like
Yeah.
even a box will do.
Maybe we'll add another layer here.
Outcast says that he used to have the VHS collection for Dragon Ball Z. Man, if you had all of Dragon Ball Z, not even the original first half Dragon Ball, for in VHS, that would be a bookshelf all by itself. It would look nice though. Like, yeah, this is my Dragon Ball Z bookshelf. It has every single episode. Now with Blu-rays, you're like, it's like 3 discs and it fits in one box. So actually, I think they still separate it. If you get the box set, that they put each season on its own disc, despite the fact that you probably, as long as it wasn't say 4K or something, you could fit everything on just a few discs. And the Blu-rays have a lot of space in them, but it looks nicer, each disc, and it's its own little thin box that fits into a big collector's box, and it's only a few books wide.
Mm, mm. I said, had we had we got a name for Frieza's species, I would probably be. I said, it would
Nope,
probably
they
be
just
something
call it
called the
Frieza's
Phrygians.
race.
I know. I think it'd probably be like the Phrygians or something. I don't know. It probably would be kind of.
There's a lot of potential names for it. You'll even find in the wiki that different things have given names to it, but there's been no official name. Even in some video games, they literally just call them Frisiajin, which Jin just literally means like people of a place, right? Like Nihonjin are the Japanese and stuff like that. So they're just Frieza's race.
Yeah, Frieza's people. That's what.
Yep.
Outcast says he got them when he used to have a bookstore back in the 90s. Cool.
Oh, that makes sense. That actually adds up. I didn't know he had a comic book store back in the 90s. That's cool.
Yeah,
I'm sure he's
yeah.
probably
And
said it
so that,
many, many times, but I don't catch everybody's like streams and stuff.
uh, um,
Wow.
like I still, yeah, I still don't have. I'm here without a laptop, and I don't do my. I try to write on my phone is somewhat difficult. Yeah, I go also go back over. Mm.
Uh, they're probably still the sausage, but they look a little better.
Yes, this is a grand improvement.
Also, I found out recently the regular show Revival just came out. Not even sure if I want to watch that.
Oh, my condolences.
God, I watched that all the time. All the time when I was a kid, it's like my favorite show when my parents first got cable. One of my favorite things. This regular.
I'm probably going to be going to see Mortal Kombat 2 tomorrow.
Oh yeah, that's been out for like a couple days now, or so.
Man, I know. I saw Vigilante Williamson stream. He talked to me, said that he saw it.
Are you going to go see
I'm
it,
just
Metal?
glad it's not focusing on Cole Young. I think that's the big thing. If Cole Young was the main character of this one, I think I would just absolutely never watch it. I don't know if I'll go out to see it, but I'll probably eventually watch it one way or the other. It's still up in the air if I'll see it in theaters.
Yeah, I'm probably not going to go see it because I don't care about Mortal Kombat as a property, man.
Well,
I like the idea of
uh,
making Johnny Cage the main focus. I would still prefer Liu Kang, but if they're not going to make him the main focus of any of them, Johnny Cage is probably like the next best person to pick.
I don't think I was going to even ask you, Fizz, because I don't think there's any movie that that is, shall we say, popular that you might go see.
I don't think that's inherently true. Especially, so is it going straight to HBO, or are they doing a full theatrical release of Coyote versus Acme? Because they're finally doing like a release of it.
I don't have much interest in seeing that. So
Oh, I thought you originally did.
no, I only saw the day the Earth blew up because it was the first time that something like this has ever happened. I want to see what they could do with it.
Maybe I confused you wanting to see it because you talked about it in my chat all the time. And I just don't remember whether it was positively or negatively.
No, I don't think I've ever mentioned the Coyote versus Acme. Yeah, actually.
Yeah, several times back when we used to do Super Serial Showtime. But you also could have just been asking about it a lot. I think that might have just been it, and I don't remember the nature in which you talked about it.
Oh God! I think I mentioned that Warner Bros. Shelf that released the Flash movie. Even though the Coyote versus Acme got positive reception from test audiences, and
yeah, that people definitely viewed it very positively.
And the Flash was the Flash. Why would you release that?
To make money, or make some money back.
What? No, why didn't you write off the Flash as a tax write off and then release Coyote versus Acme? That's kind of. But since nobody actually liked the Flash movie and test screen.
I could tell you exactly why. At that point, they had not completely written off the Snyderverse. They had not made the full decision that they were going to move on to say like James Gunn. And whether you liked it or not, that movie was kind of critical for what they were going to do with it. So it's like, yeah, maybe we need to take this as a loss. But it ultimately ended up being a bad loss because they canned that universe anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. And plus Ezra Miller went on a crime spree just before the film came out. So
yeah, horrible, unfortunate timing there.
Yeah, maybe he did it on purpose. But the other
No,
thing is that they had put so much money into it already, I think, that they just wanted to try and make some of their money back.
Well, so that's
Unlike the
only usually the
Batgirl film.
case. That's only usually the case if you've already started spending on like your marketing budget, which you do not spend on your marketing budget until the test screening, because the marketing budget is typically anywhere between the cost of the film to maybe the cost and a half of the film, right? It's going to be the bulk of what you end up spending on the film. So if you know your film is not going to make things back, you either do a quiet release and you're like, well, you know, we blew the budget of the film. We need to make something back, and do no marketing at all, which is not what they did. They did a lot of marketing for that. Or you just don't release it at all because you're going to be at least saving half of the money you would have spent otherwise if you don't release it.
Yeah.
I think it's because it was pivotal to what their plans were at the time, and there's a lot of other people who've said the same. But then they changed their plan, so it was kind of just a bad decision.
exactly.
But that's hindsight is 2020 situation.
Yeah.
Now, another thing is that the DC just released the full slate of anime stuff they're gonna release, and I'm like, Creature Commandos is getting a season 2. I'm like, did anybody even watch that show? Because I had the misfortune of watching all of season 1. So
Couldn't tell you.
I didn't watch.
like
I didn't watch it yet. I want to, but I haven't.
I highly recommend you don't. To anyone, I had the misfortune of watching season 1, so I highly recommend you don't even watch Creature Commandos.
Yeah, well, I usually like to watch
Yeah.
stuff and judge it for myself.
Like every episode was a flashback to a character's backstory and backstory as most of the episode. I'm not kidding. And the
Yeah,
main plot is also not very good at all. Like the main
well,
plot happening in the present.
well, I don't know about that, but I can actually see doing the every episode having most likely, especially since there's probably what 10 episodes at most for it, and I'm not sure how many characters are on the team. I could actually see
They
that.
literally the second episode is literally a dedicated flashback episode to GI Robot, a one-dimensional character who we know everything about from the first episode.
Yeah, well, most people might not because most people don't know a lot.
The first episode tells you everything you need to know about the character. He's a robot obsessed with killing Nazis, and we don't learn anything more about him from the flashback.
Except his history. What made him be that?
No. We didn't. What made him be that way? What do you mean? What made him be that way? He was programmed to kill Nazis, and then we get flashbacks seeing him kill Nazis.
Yeah, well, people like to see Nazis killed.
How is this necessary? Why we need a flashback to a character we told us everything we need to know, especially if he doesn't have a personality outside of that. Like he dies he dies in the second episode. So literally he's not even relevant for the rest of the show. So why waste screen time on something like that?
Maybe he's gonna come back in the second season. I don't know.
He does because they rebuild him at the end of the first season. But why even have the flashback there in the second season to begin with? But why, especially in episode 2?
Because he's a character in the show, and people want to know his backstory.
Yeah, so
no, you don't.
Now, I'm not saying that they did it well because I haven't seen it. It could have been done horribly, but from just like a writing practice perspective, not everything shown is just for the knowledge of the audience or the viewer. Some things are shown for the experience of the audience or the viewer. Now, you could have still tried to give them a good experience with a flashback or whatever and failed, because that just comes down to like your skill in pulling it off. But some things are there for the whole point is to evoke emotion, to give the audience an experience.
But the emotion the evoking, it doesn't work because there's nothing to the character of Shred just doesn't have any personality outside of from what he's built to do.
Well, the character itself doesn't necessarily need to for an event, but Like I said, it could also just be them failing at whatever they're trying to do.
Yeah.
That very often
like like
happens.
Unfortunately, me and
like
Metal, I haven't seen it, so we can't say much. So
Yeah, I
we
can
can
only talk
just
about from like the principles of writing. That's it, you know.
they dedicated an flashback episode to forgot her name, the fish chick. I just some of these character
I don't
names I
know
just
any of
choose
their
to forget.
names.
yeah,
But the
uh,
fish chick, they dedicated the entire episode to her. In the same episode, she dies. So I'm like, I think they should reverse. Like, I think you should have put
yeah,
the flashback to her backstory in the episode or in the second episode. Uh,
yeah. Well,
I'm like,
again,
now because we
yeah.
already
Again, the reason they're
because
doing that is to invoke the emotion when she dies, hoping that you care that she died.
but the thing is that will already work anyway because she was already a character in most of the season. She dies in like the last on second to last episode of the season. Or I like they take the very last episode. I'm not sure. I forget because
Outcast
again,
says I haven't seen it, but maybe the first season was a setup for the second season. Listen, knowing James Gunn, the first season is probably a setup for the fifth season.
exactly. Not only that, we also get Frankenstein, who Eric Frankenstein, the Frankenstein's monster, who literally does nothing in the entire main plot at all. He eats up screen time. Yeah, he eats up screen time whenever he's on screen. He does literally accomplishes nothing in the actual story. I'm like, what's the? He's literally only in the story to make a statement about toxic masculinity. That's it. But
Well,
like,
that could be. I don't know. I'm gonna have to watch it to make
but
my own.
he isn't even on the team. He's another antagonist, except he gets taken out of the story immediately near the climax, so it doesn't even matter. Yeah, he's trying to date the date of I forgot the bride. He's trying to date the bride because the bride
Yeah,
was supposed
bride
to
of
be his
friend.
wife.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. And the bride, she's on the team. She's on the team, but he's not even. Yeah, he's just there's another antagonist, but who accomplishes nothing in the actual story. So I'm like, what's the point of him even being there? He just eats up screen time. He, he literally like so much. This is just bad. Like what the hell? Like what the hell? Like none of this really matters.
well,
Like
without having seen it, I can't. I can only speculate on things, and at this point, I don't think I can even speculate anything because I know nothing to talk about anything. So
Oh, I don't even care to speculate, you know,
yeah.
because like I'm never gonna see this thing. I have no intention of ever watching this.
I'll admit I have an intention of watching it. When I don't know. I probably should.
I heard this going to be a Starfire show, which I might be interested in. I'm not sure. I'm probably going to watch first episode of that whenever it comes out.
But
I
yeah,
said Starfire show.
I
Yeah, we heard you.
usually. What was that, Metal?
Yeah, we heard you.
Mm.
Yeah, I usually like to watch stuff, get my own opinion on stuff. Eventually, like, cause I usually I have a little my
Another thing that didn't make sense in the main plot was Creature Commandos was you had Cersei the Sorceress show up as one of the villains that Creature Commandos tasked with dealing with, and Cersei Sorceress is leading an army of men rejected by men rejected by Themyscira. It's like sons of Amazons who they rejected because they came out males, and they like and they, well they're like men's rights activists, and they all follow Cersei the Sorceress as like and they as an army of like strongmen, political strongmen, basically. It was
yeah.
dumb. They're supposed to be like incel stereotypes or something. They're the
Again,
chuds. Like I'm just calling them the chuds. Uh, and he used them as henchmen.
again, I have no information to combat one way
Now
or
that was
another.
at the start of the first episode. They established that.
Yeah, he hasn't even seen the first episode, so you know, like Rick just doesn't want to judge something he hasn't seen, which is a very fair opinion to have. Is like, I don't want to judge something I have not experienced. But though, I will say that there are some counterpoints to it. I don't think a TV series has ever ruined somebody's life from watching it, but there are things in the world where you don't want to experience it before judging it because of the impact it's had on other people's lives, like heroin.
Yeah.
I don't think I need to do heroin to judge the impact of heroin.
Yeah.
But are you, do you think I'm lying about what I'm saying here?
I don't think you're lying. I just also can't, confirm the opposite either. Like I'm assuming, taking on good faith, that you're telling the truth. I'm not assuming you're lying.
Yeah. I'm not assuming
But
you're lying.
I also know that sometimes you also don't interpret things the same way other people do. So it's like, on a factual basis, what you're saying is probably true, but I don't know to what degree. You know what I mean?
I do.
Unless I were to experience it myself, I can't measure the degree. But I also don't plan on experience it myself, so I don't care to measure degree. Like, I'm perfectly fine with the situation we're currently in.
Yeah. Like I said, I was planning on watching it no matter what. So at some point,
because the DC name is on it, so like
No,
a lot of these DC shows, I'm probably never going to watch.
it doesn't matter that DC's name is on it. It's a superhero thing. I like superhero stuff.
Yeah, he just engages with superhero stuff.
I went to see Spawn when it came out. I went to see Tank Girl. I went to see Mystery
Tank
Man.
Girl's a superhero? I thought
she's a comic book.
Like
she's a comic book character.
In the general category of comic, like heroes, vigilantes, stuff like that.
I go and see, I try and go see anything. Maybe I shouldn't say superhero. I'll say comic related.
Yeah. But also, Rick, I understand this because it's something that like everybody's done for the longest time. It would kind of almost squash the masked vigilante or masked hero genre into the superhero genre. Even though superheroes come out of that genre, it's kind of eclipsed and absorbed it.
No, I don't recommend anybody read "Don't Melt with My Daughter" by the same guy's dancing vampire bun, and that's.
But like Rick, for the longest time, exact same boat as you, right? Like, I went to the theaters to watch Kick-Ass when it came out. Yeah. Also in that category of things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did you watch Super in theaters?
No, only because I had finals at the time, so I didn't actually have time to go. I watched it on a pretty big screen. I had a friend who was like one of the earlier people to have like an 80-inch TV or something like that back in the day, and I ended up watching it there. I would say 6 months after it came out, I think is when it hit DVD. I would have, if like finals weren't going on at the time, I would have went to see it in theaters.
Yes, Super by James Gunn.
But I still have seen it anyway.
Yeah, Super by James Gunn, which sounds like I jokingly called it the greatest Larry the Cucumber movie.
No, that's one again. That's one that I don't think I've seen either, and I don't know anything about it.
Super's about some guy. It's directed by James Gunn. There's some guy whose wife leaves him for a drug dealing pimp played by Kevin Bacon. So he watches a knockoff Bible man and decides to become a superhero because of that, and fight the guy.
Well, it's a little more than decides to become a superhero because of that. He has like the equivalent of, it was probably a seizure. In world, I think it was probably explained as being a seizure, but he has like the equivalent of an acid trip where like God comes down, touches his brain, and kind of like says, you should be a hero. Like he has like a fever dream type situation. And that's what actually pushes him to being like a masked vigilante.
Okay.
Mhm.
Sounds interesting, shall we say?
Yeah. You are
uh,
supposed to question it either way. Like it's not like for sure whether it actually happened or not, or whether it was like he had a seizure that made him hallucinate the whole thing. It's supposed to be a questionable experience in world.
Yeah.
mm,
But from like literally everyone else's perspective, it didn't happen.
mm, mm, mm. Okay, but he, yeah, and also he keeps watching this knockoff in universe Bible Man. That's some the show that's literally just Bible Man, but he just changed the
Yeah.
name.
Yeah.
and he becomes like this, decides to become this mass vigilante and fight crime. But then,
Yeah, it
mm,
doesn't sound like
Yeah,
so
the.
and he had a sidekick, which it was Ellen
and,
Page back when she was still Ellen Page, I believe.
yeah, it's Ellen Page, and then she let's just say she did something non-consensual to him.
Oh yeah. It's a James Gunn feature, so there's definitely aspects of it that you don't necessarily want to talk about on air.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Outcast says some people love B movies and some people hate them.
Yeah, that's true. The thing is, though, I love a B movie that leans into the fact that it's a B movie. You know, like it has no shame or whatever. I don't like big A-lister movies that have the quality of a B movie and they don't realize that they have the quality of a B movie, whether it comes to like writing or something like that.
Mm.
Because a B movie
Uh,
is
uh,
really about the budget, you know, at the
by
end
the
of the
way,
day.
I want to do. I'm not want to ask if this is exactly safe to do, but I want to have. At one point, I thought of having a story arc where having the guy who wrote Dancing Vampire Button. I forgot his name. Forget his name at the moment. I think it's uh the. I want to have a storyline where he shows up in one of my projects. Like actually shows up like the character you drawn look just like him. It's call him that and everything. Where he funds like a evil, a secret superhuman creation project to turn a porn star into a superhero, turn a sex worker into a superhero, and and distortion has to basically beat his ass.
So
There wasn't
you
really a superhero; it was actually a villain he was creating.
so
You
you
are
Come
want to
to
do
find out.
kind of
you want to do Stripperella?
No. I know. He was creating like a super villain. It was basically really just a villain a villain with a villain more so than a hero. It's kind of like
No,
the boys
no.
you
situation.
have to understand though that you are kind of skirting the line though if you want to use him as is, and this isn't parody content. Like,
Yeah. I was gonna have distortion when my heroes. The chick who turns invisible, kick his ass basically. Kick his ass basically.
yeah, because
Yeah.
like if this isn't clearly like how Family Guy can have Superman show up because it's parody content and it's just a joke, right? If you use
Mhm.
somebody else's character, especially if they have an active copyright on it, it's not public domain or
Well, wasn't
something
somebody
like
else's
that.
character? Somebody. It's literally another person.
I don't care. The real person too. If it's not clearly like a bit, and that person doesn't like that their likeness was used in that way, and can say that it is defamation to some degree, and they might, you could be in hot water. Now you can use public people in a parody sense, because
Mm,
if it's a joke and it's clearly not supposed to represent them as a real person, then you are protected by certain clauses of parody law. But
mm,
if it's not clearly a bit and it makes people think like this version could be misrepresenting them, they can come after you.
mm. Will you sue me because I betrayed him as a guy who created a horny supervillain?
Maybe. I don't know the person.
Uh, like, yeah, I forget his name at the moment. It's the same guy who wrote Dancing Vampire Bun.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Uh, he also wrote that superhero manga where that's the reason why that's why I thought doing this parody where the superhero manga where she keeps having sex with villains.
Yeah, I think you've talked about this person before, and I think you've even talked about this idea before to a degree, or at least something similar. but I'm not familiar with the creator. And yeah, if they feel that you are effectively defaming them by misrepresenting their likeness, yeah, they can come after you.
Yeah. Okay.
That's why, like, the only real person that, other than like my friends that I know, who I also all know are perfectly cool with it, and even then I don't use their real names ever. The only real person that I've ever put in one of my stories is Weird Al, and because I put his likeness exactly the way he's ever been in any source of media, and I also know that he's the type of cool guy that wouldn't come after you for that. That's it. That's literally the only person that I've ever used, and probably would ever. And it's a very short bit.
Okay.
It's a very, very short
Okay.
bit. So even then, you could argue parody because it's written like a joke that he even pops up in the first place.
He's the type of guy who would not care at all, honestly.
No, you'd probably see it and laugh, realistically speaking.
Yes, Weird Al. I listen to Weird Al all the time, so I know who he is.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
So it's like
uh,
that's my decision for that stuff. Is like I would only use the real likeness and name of a person in a bit that could probably be justified as a joke or parody to begin with. But if I knew that person would be cool with it.
that's the other thing. I thought jokes even crueler than that. If you don't know, like bits even crueler than that.
I assumed. I didn't have to know. I just kind of assumed.
But one idea I had recently, well, I can't make because I don't have my computer, is do an animated short about a sausage, a hedonistic sausage who decides to pick on a super religious cucumber.
Mm, mm.
What's that sound like?
Rick, you have
like
the better idea, right? You don't use somebody's likeness unless they pay you.
Okay. But what does that premise sound like to you?
That premise sounds like a mix between like Sausage Party and Veggie Tales.
Exactly.
I don't know. That's probably why I immediately lost interest in
it. It's like I basically but in order for that to work, I need to find somebody who could do a good Seth Rogen impersonation. Voice the sausage as he tries to bully Bobby Cucumber here, not
I
Bobby
think it'd
Cucumber
probably be
here.
better if somebody had a bad Seth Rogen impersonation.
And as he tries to bully not Bobby Cucumber here. Because when you think about it, Sausage Party is kind of like just like it's trying to be a corruption of VeggieTales when you think about it, because it's all about how religion is total BS, and that we should all replace it with sex and drugs.
Maybe I'll have to take your word on that. I couldn't make it more than 5 minutes into that movie, so
I got further than you did.
I didn't even get. I haven't even. I thought about going to see it. I never did. I'm not sure whether I ever will.
I'll be down to rewatch some VeggieTales though. VeggieTales is peak.
Yes, I love VeggieTales. VeggieTales. I wanted to do my own type of VeggieTales. I had the Mushroom Gang. All different mushrooms. Oh, and I had a bunch of fruits. I did fruits as well.
No, technically VeggieTales was mostly fruits.
I know.
Like the two main characters of VeggieTales
are tomato and a cucumber, which are fruits.
Yeah.
Yeah, although most people think of them as vegetables.
They're berries. They're more berries than most things called berries.
I know.
Is that berry good or not?
It's at least very delightful. There are a lot of vegetables though, like broccoli, people, asparagus, stuff like that. But the main characters are mostly fruits. But that's not wrong though. They're all vegetation, so it's still technically all plants that we put in our body are also vegetables. We just like for culinary purposes split them up.
I know. All plants and vegetation is just another word for plants. So
yeah, and a vegetable is an edible vegetation. It's literally a portmanteau. The big problem that we have is that we don't actually have a culinary designation for fungus. Right? Because fungus are not
fungus
vegetation,
is not a
though
plant.
we've considered it for the longest time. So it's like, what category? In some ways, they should be kind of almost closer to the meat category than to the vegetable category.
Look, this looks pretty good so far, Rick.
We'd probably just end up using the French word for mushrooms, probably, because we use the French word for everything else for culinary stuff.
I know. That's why Ratatouille was set in France.
Yes, because apparently the French have a thing on whatchamacallit. They have the the thing on food. Oh.
Outcast has a question for you.
Rick, did you make your own Pokemon as well? Not yet. I've made my own Transformers. It's a wonder I haven't made my own Pokemon, but I didn't grow up with Pokemon, so that's probably why.
Yeah, if you didn't know why specifically, the reason we use French terms for most things in the culinary arts is because even the idea of the culinary arts as a general discipline and not just like something a family practices maybe for their local job or whatever, and the modern kitchen as like a production line and everything comes from a Frenchman known as Auguste Escoffier. And because of that, we end up using like the French word for cow is boeuf. So that's where beef comes from. And so on and so forth for like every single thing we have named is just a different pronunciation really of how the French say things.
There's also a reason why mimes are associated with France is because the world's most famous mime was French, apparently.
Yep. But they were all across the Mediterranean.
And okay, like let's see. Okay, says I did make your own Pokemon or grow up with Pokemon. Although I did make my own Ninja Turtles as well.
I wanted to ask you. Do you think what's her name escapes me at the moment? Cassandra Cain should have been a mime. Should have been a mime themed character.
No. I could see why your mind would jump to this, and I wouldn't ultimately be against it either, but I don't think there was any necessary reason for her to have been a mime-themed character.
That backstory, her power set is literally just being able to imitate people's body movements perfectly.
Yeah.
And read their body movements. So, like, well, do you think she should have been called the Mind? That would have been a cool, heroic mind. That would have been a cool gimmick.
Yeah, but I think it would have been.
But the problem is then the mimes would be associated with Joker and the clowns and everything like that.
Yeah,
like,
but the clown. Look, as we all know from Shakes the Clown, mimes and clowns hate each other, so it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. That's in one continuity. In real life, mimes and clowns don't hate each other.
I know. I'm just making a joke, of course, but it doesn't. Why should clowns don't necessarily be always bad to be associated with Joker? Like, I don't get it.
Well, they're
because
not
that's
all.
What the audience is going to expect.
Especially in, comics.
Yeah, exactly. Like people expect my character Gryffindor to be like similar to Joker's. Like
Well, I'm talking
I don't care.
specifically in the
Mm.
context of a character who exists within the framework of Gotham and near Gotham.
Yeah, but even then, she could give clowns a good name. She was dressed up as a mime because I think Joker
You
gave.
could, if that's your intent, you could go that angle, but
Mm.
you're going to have to do a lot of setup and basically tell the audience that the whole point of this character is to subvert the expectation that if you think of a clown or something remotely similar to it in the area of Gotham, that they're going to be associated with Joker.
Mm.
Yeah. Well, also, I think the character would be a little too serious, Cassandra Cain, to be a mime type character.
You could have a serious mime.
Oh yeah,
I know.
I'm sure you can, but just I think she would be a little too serious from what I know of the character and her background.
Yeah, one of the most famous mimes in history was a dramatic actor.
Yeah.
It was just more of the fact that A had a vow of silence, which is actually not common for mimes. Technically, they're only ever silent when they have their makeup on, but and he probably wasn't when he didn't have his makeup on. But the problem is, anytime he was in public, he had his makeup on, so that's where the whole like vow of silence came from. And B, that he did not use props in his dramas. It was all pantomiming, so he's like he did it as a mime. But you could be a very serious mime, and that wouldn't even be a subversion to say like the public conscious because it's something that is in the public conscious already.
Yeah.
Mm. But like the idea of a mime themed character. I'm surprised somebody has done that yet. I mean, there was a one shot Batman villain who was a mime, but I'm like that was kind of
Uh,
but
There was
even
that
then he wasn't the
totally
best.
spies villain that turned people into mimes.
I was gonna say I think there has been a hero mime before, but I could be wrong. I just don't know the character. I think I've seen it once or twice, but hello,
There's also the
Skywalker. Walker, how are you? Sup? Not much. Just coloring. How do I say it again, Metal?
Dodoria.
Dodoria.
Uh, was like clowns and stuff. Like I get uh, it's like why? It's like why do clowns get such a bad rap? I don't get it.
Because
Is it
people
just
see
because
the.
John Wayne Gacy?
Well, no,
It's
some
because
people, because some people are, like I'm not, but there are people out there that are actually, in real life, actually scared of clowns. They see clowns and they freak out.
Yeah, because it's uncanny, right? Like the depending on the type of clown it is too. Like the makeup is there to distort the facial features to make it kind of uncanny. And there's actually a really long history to this too, where some of the earliest clowns in history that we could think of were death performances, right? Like the white grease paint makeup comes from imitating the dead, right? Now it was supposed to make levity of it, as a part of the grieving process. You put on this performance so that people can get over the death that happened. But those are some of the earliest accounted historical cases of clowning. Um,
mm,
and I don't think culturally, spiritually, it ever really got around of it. If you think about the slapstick nature of clowns too, they are kind of in the same line of gallows humor. It's supposed to make light of things that might otherwise cause serious injury or harm to people.
Yeah, look at the
mm,
Three Stooges. Those guys
Yeah.
really
But
clowned
then if
around.
you consider kids, right, it's something you can appreciate more as an adult. But remember, a lot of these characters are written for younger people originally, especially the Joker. Uh, Kids react to uncanny things a lot differently than adults do because like some of the first thing that your brain picks up is the pattern of like your mother's face and then other faces around you. So now you have a character who is intentionally trying to distort the features of the face.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's the main I would say view around clowns because especially like yeah, John Wayne Gacy didn't do any favors for clowns, but like the Joker as a character predates him by quite a bit.
I know. I know. Obviously. It was Joker, then decades later is Pennywise.
Yeah, though Pennywise was more directly influenced by Gacy.
Mm.
But yeah, for a lot of people, it's like the clown's makeup just like sets off
At
that kind
least
of
I assume
pattern
it's probably not
recognition
in
in your face.
Mexico, because in Mexico they use face paint all the time. So I don't think
Yeah,
they're really
but in
scared
the
about that
similar
stuff.
way though, right? Because especially if you consider like the Day of the Dead, it's still kind of a gallows grieving process to make it culturally relevant, right? So they have a different reaction to it, but they're kind of still reacting to it in the same way.
Mm. Uh, I have a villain. I have a planned villain for Goofy North who wears the Day of Dead like face paint.
Yeah, and that's all right.
Yeah.
As far as
Mm.
it's just you
And
were talking about clowns,
mm,
and one Cassandra Cain being a mime and all that. That's how this came around and all that. So
mm, mm. 'Cause I do believe it would be cool if she took up a mime as Monica, mime
Yeah,
instead
there's
of
also
being a
like
bad
the
girl.
intent of the character, I think, is like she was also brought in with the intent that she was always going to be part of like
The
the
Bat
the
family.
bat line of things.
Yeah, but she almost doesn't feel like she should be a bat themed character. She should mostly be a mime because what else would we call a person who has that ability?
Yeah, I'm just
what? Her ability of not
I
to
mean,
speak?
well,
No,
no,
no, no, no. Not just that she doesn't speak, but also that she can imitate anyone's body movements perfectly and read body movements, and that's her
yeah, like
main
the
power.
Yeah, well that doesn't
what's her
speak much.
face in Heroes.
Yeah.
We said metal.
The character in Heroes who can do the exact same thing.
Yeah, well
Mm.
Taskmaster does the same thing.
Yeah.
I know Taskmaster. I know, but the fact that combined with the fact she doesn't talk, when you put those two things together, it's kind of like a perfect mind team character.
Though, like
I
I
would say
understand
no.
what you're saying, but you are also the only person I've ever talked to who feels that way.
Yeah, like um she doesn't get well, first of all, ugh. Okay, the not speaking thing I can get, but the mimicking everybody's movements doesn't
Mm.
speak
You put those two things
mime.
together, that's almost like a perfect mind team character.
I mean, the word that's where the word mimic comes from, Rick.
Well,
No, exactly.
I can get that it comes from mime, the word mime, but when I think of a mime, I don't think of them mimicking other people's actions.
Well, that's like
That
one
the
of the
word
most
mime comes
classic
from mimic.
mime, like the most classic mime, like pantomiming comedy technique is they'll see somebody walking down the road and they'll literally just start mimicking their actions alongside them.
Yeah,
I
That's
know
well,
like the
exactly.
classic bit.
I know
yeah.
exactly.
Well, for me,
It's like
I'm more used to the mimes, pretending they're in a box or going down an escalator or something like that, all that sort
Like
of thing.
the well, even like e- well, typically stairs, but like the escalator one would be a very new thing because escalators are very new.
Yeah.
Um, the box is kind of old, but no, like the most classic bit is just copying somebody on the street. Like that is the classic mime performance thing.
I'm not denying that. I'm
Yeah.
just saying my experience
Yeah.
is always seeing
But
them. Maybe not a box, but I'm just more saying they're trying to mimic, the force of pushing against something that's not there. You're like a box, or I'm not sure what else to say, but I think. I'm just saying the couple things that came to my mind automatically.
yeah, well, the whole thing about pantomiming is basically to be able to act or mimic an experience without the need of props, right?
Yeah.
So it's like the pantomime riding a horse or something. Like they would just do whatever. That
Yeah.
stuff you would see if they already have like a captive audience or whatever. The more classic bit, you kind of need to get your audience first. And if a mime is just standing there doing nothing, people aren't necessarily going to be watching a mime. So you get people's attention by like copying random people until people start showing up to whatever performance you're going to be doing.
Yeah, I can see that. Like I
Uh,
said,
well, if I were to make a, because these concept seems kind of interesting. If I were to make a character who has the exact same backstory as Cassandra Cain, but as a mime, but as a mime, would people, well, how would people react to it?
Oh, I think they'd accept it because it's not that she should be a mime. Because I think part of it too is that you wish there was a mime character, so your brain is looking for the character that would fit it the best, right? But if you're intent and you set her up for that, then yeah, she would work perfectly fine as a mime.
well, I didn't quite get all the colors tightened up. I'll have to do that off air, I guess, or on another episode where I'm finishing up stuff. But what do you think overall?
Let me tab over to Discord because it'll be faster than waiting for YouTube. Yeah, it's tight.
It looks
Definitely
great.
much better after you fix the hands, for sure.
Yeah.
It actually looks quite well.
It looks like
You
Dodoria.
you should do more monsters and aliens.
Yeah.
Probably
Well,
sing some more next time.
probably on Wednesday I will be doing um, Captain Future. Uh, drawing of Captain Future. He was one of the characters
Oh,
that we
really?
read on thing. I know.
You just want to draw a man in those hot pants.
Pants? He didn't have pants. He had a bikini bottom.
Well, that's what they call like the hot pants, which are the ones where like they're technically pants, but they like are so short and hug so tight they might as well look like underwear.
Yeah. I'm just like, nothing went down his legs. It just covered his.
Yeah.
It's like a woman's one piece, but for a guy.
Yeah, they call those hot pants.
I forgot to ask. The guy who did the voice for the Toucan in Lion King, what's his name again? I forgot his name. The British actor.
Oh, I normally know it off the top of my head. It's freaking Mr. Bean.
Yeah, Mr. Bean. Yeah, did he have clown training of?
I don't know. Rowan Atkinson. I don't know his background actually. I couldn't.
Yeah,
tell
Rowan
you.
Atkinson.
I know I've heard
Mr.
it before, but I'm not sure. And of
Yeah,
course,
like,
tomorrow.
cause I'm not sure if he had mime training or clown training of any sort. Because it seems like it. Because when watching Mr. Bean, so
Yeah, because Mr. Bean doesn't talk a lot.
I
Or
probably
he
did
did.
classical theater training, which pantomiming is something you have to learn to do when you're a stage actor.
Yeah. But tomorrow night, of course, I'm going to be doing a cross between He-Man and Mario. Last week I did the Sorceress, right? And thing.
Yeah, with Rosalina.
Yeah. I might do another guy character, and then of course we'll do Tila and who? Oh, Princess Peach, yeah. And then right after it comes out, we'll do Bowser and Skeletor. That should be an interesting combination. And then, of
Yeah.
course,
Even better pick too, since they actually put Dry Bowser in the Galaxy movie.
Yeah. And hopefully, I won't have any internet problems this week, and we'll be having the Silhouette game on Thursday. 80s toys. No, 80s cartoons, sorry. I'm combining the two.
Though a lot of them probably do have toys. That's not the episode.
Yeah. True. Anyways, thanks for coming on, Metal. Anything you would like to promote?
Sure. Let me get the. I guess I'll get the exact link for the page for the TTRPG, even though the manual only has the introduction section on the site right now. But that's the thing I'm currently working on is the X Dynamis Chaos tabletop role playing game. So
Yeah.
people look forward to that whenever I bash my head against the keyboard long enough to finally get the whole write up finished.
And I know it's probably no, but anything you'd like to promote, Fitzchozo? And thanks for coming on.
No, obviously nothing.
Yeah. And well, it's not out quite yet, but I'm gonna promote it. The digital is out on Amazon for $3 for number one. But we do have Canadian Shield number one on Amazon fairly soon, probably in the next few days. It will be up. Here is a copy. This cover is done by Metal, none other than Metal, right here on the thing with us panel. So
I hope the cover was credited as being done by Malcolm Turzik, though.
Actually, unfortunately, I didn't put cover art by in here anywhere.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Not having the credit is better than being credited by the Metal.
Yeah. Of course, in anything I would do, you're credited as Malcolm.
There you
go. It's just I'm saying what everybody hears your name here as.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I've got to start doing that cover by in the things, putting that credit in. It's one that I haven't thought about, but it's another thing that I have to think about in getting to do. You know, anybody asks, I tell them who the cover is by, but it needs to go in the book itself on the credits with the credits. So yeah, keep a look on Amazon for Canadian Shield 1 if you do not want to buy it from me, but you want to get it. It is on Amazon going to be $10. So American. So and then whatever translates into thing, because just the way everything went with that stuff. Actually, I might be able to lower it, but I want to talk with somebody who's done all that stuff behind the scenes. Maybe Metal.
Maybe.
With the royalty stuff and all that, I don't get all that. Anyways, again, thank you, Metal, for coming on. Thanks, Fitzjozo, for coming on. Thanks, everybody in the chat, for coming by. It was great having you all here. And we'll catch you all tomorrow night. So bye for now. God bless. Love you all. Have a great and wonderful day, night, whatever it might be for you.